What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our SEC football channel. 2019 was a disappointing year for the Vanderbilt Commodores. I don't necessarily think it's because of the schedule. Their schedule wasn't too bad, although they did have to play LSU out of the West, the best team in the West last season. And they played a road game at Purdue in the non-conference, but the problem was just that they couldn't really win those conference games, and that's where they struggled. I think they won one conference game against Missouri, and that was it. It was a very difficult year for them, and it's been this way for a while now for Vanderbilt. They also lost to UNLV last year. This program, all these other teams in the SEC are getting better and better. Vanderbilt's just kind of stuck. Something's going to have to give here soon if they're going to improve. So here's the 2020 schedule, and this year they play another road game against a Power 5 opponent in Kansas State. When you look at this schedule, out of the West, who do they play? Well, they play Ole Miss. They play them every year, and they'll play on the road at Texas A&M. So go from LSU last year to Texas A&M, who might be the best team in the West this year. I think this team has a lot of potential. I don't necessarily think they're the best team, but I think they have a chance to be the best team in the West. So this is a pretty difficult schedule for a team like Vanderbilt. If this was Alabama's schedule, you wouldn't say it was too tough. But for Vanderbilt, it's going to be tough, I think, to get to a bowl game. They open up on September the 5th against Mercer. That should be a game that they can get a win in. And then they'll play Missouri on the road on September 12th. Missouri is going to be looking for revenge after last year's game. It's on the road. I think it's going to be a tough matchup for Vanderbilt. Then on September 19th, it's on the road at Kansas State. Wildcats were a surprise last year. Remember, they beat Mississippi State. This game's on the road, and it is going to be a difficult game for Vanderbilt. And they play Colorado State on September 26th, a game that is definitely winnable for Vanderbilt, but I don't think you can just overlook a team like Colorado State, a Mountain West team. And then in the month of October, they kick it off on the road at Georgia on October 3rd. Follow that up on the 10th with Ole Miss at home. Ole Miss is a team of Lane Kiffin now. You expect them, that program, to really get it going. It'll be a tough matchup. Then on October 17th, it's on the road at Kentucky. Kentucky, I think, is going to be a better team than Vanderbilt, and that's the thing. Almost everyone on the schedule is going to be better than Vanderbilt. They're going to have to pull off some upsets or be a lot better than we expect if they're going to have any chance to get to a bowl game. They play South Carolina on Halloween. They actually get a bye week between Kentucky and South Carolina. So that's the game that you can maybe circle. It's at home. It's after a bye week. It's on Halloween. Maybe they could pull off a big win there against South Carolina. I think South Carolina, again, clearly going to be the better team, but you never know. Then they go into the month of November. They open it up against Florida on November 7th. The game is at home, but they're going to be outmatched big time in that one. And then same thing on the road on the 14th at Texas A&M, another game where Vanderbilt will be probably a double-digit underdog. And then they get Louisiana Tech on November 21st. Not a bad team. Vanderbilt lost to UNLV last year. I think they could lose to Louisiana Tech this year, or maybe they win it. And then they close it out with Tennessee on November, the 28th. Their final game of the year is at home. You start looking at this schedule and say, what's the path for Vanderbilt to get to a bowl game? You could give them Mercer, Colorado State, and Louisiana Tech. That's 3 wins. Okay, you need 3 more. Kansas State going to be tough. I don't know if they can go on the road and pull that win off. Home games in the conference, you get Ole Miss, South Carolina, Florida, Tennessee. You have to win 3 out of 4 of those potentially. I think it's going to be another rough year for Vanderbilt when you look at this schedule. Again, it's not the toughest schedule in the country. If Alabama had this schedule, you wouldn't say it was horrible. But for a team like Vanderbilt, a program like Vanderbilt, having to go through the SEC is really hard. And then you throw in Kansas State in the non-conference and some other pretty good teams like Colorado State, Louisiana Tech. It makes for a pretty tough schedule, and it could make for another difficult season in 2020 for the Commodores. Thank you for watching this video. If you're an SEC football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in SEC football, keep it right here.